Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Factorio. In the last episode, we started working on the cobalt process here by, processing the cobalt ore and then feeding them into a chemical furnace to turn it into cobalt oxide. And then once we reached that particular stage, we needed to get some limestone. So we went ahead and we set up this whole process here to create limestone from mud. So that's all built out, and we're making the limestone. And yeah, so we should be good to go to continue working on the cobalt system. Now, you'll see that there are more structures here than there were previously, because it was pointed out to me in the comments that I had calculated my ratios based on Mark IV buildings instead of Mark III's, which I did. Which I could have kept things as they were and just dealt with it, but I went ahead and expanded it out anyway. Now, this isn't exactly a 2-to-1 ratio for processing machines to chemical furnaces, but that's fine. I made 10 anyway instead of 9, and then we'll just go ahead and, because this is 1-to-1, we'll direct insert from chemical furnaces into blast furnaces. So that will get us where we need to be. And the other suggestion was that with the coolant cycle that I was using, is that if we started basically picking up the purified water on trains and taking it away, that it might not leave any water for the this little assembler machine that is used to clean the filters, and that would basically stop the whole system from working. So there went ahead and put an overflow valve in here just to make sure that water stays in the system so that it can be pushed in this direction. I think the pump should take care of it, but that'll give us some extra insurance to make sure that it doesn't become a problem. Alright, so I think I'll just go ahead and finish this off, which I want to put some lights on here now that it's getting dark. Alright, so as I said, we'll just go ahead and direct insert 1-to-1 ratio. Now, copy that across. Now, these are going to need both carbon and a fuel source. The fuel source is going to be easy. I'm just going to basically extend this particular fuel line here. I'm going to do the same thing that we did over here. Now, the one tricky bit is going to be that carbon, which is one of the ingredients that we need here, is also a fuel source. So, hopefully, these things will not start taking in carbon as their fuel instead of the enriched fuel blocks. But if I set this up right, then it should work. I actually might want to grab a few of these enriched fuel blocks. Because they make for an extremely effective fuel source, which I can use for my trains. While I'm over here, let's grab one of those. Alright, so carbon is going to be the next thing we're going to want to bring down here, and we'll just go ahead and run this. It's along here. Let's see, will I be able to... Yes. That's where we're going to want to... Actually, we're going to want to back it up on one more. I picked up 90 carbon. So to keep this line available, because there's going to be other stuff that's going to want to use carbon. Make sure that they're angled the same way. There we go. Alright, so all these guys are now making ingots. That's perfect. Then what we'll do is we'll use loaders. It'll help if you guys put yourself in the right direction. There you go. Then we will use a silo. A silo? Yes, a silo. For storage. And then once we empty all these guys, we'll see if this is enough. Actually, how many are we producing? We're producing 50? 50 per second. Just out of curiosity. What's 53? So it should... We should have enough bandwidth on a purple belt to handle all the output of these guys. Though I could split and redirect just to make sure. Just to keep everything as smooth as possible. Alright, so that got everybody drained. So let's see what that looks like if we just go back to one route. Is it piling up? It is piling up. Alright, so there we go. A bit overkill, but just to make sure. Alright, so there is our cobalt. So next on the docket is going to be nickel, and I did the same thing with nickel that I did with the cobalt, and then I used Mark 3s instead, or Mark 4s instead of Mark 3s. This is going to need sulfuric acid. And we have some issues with sulfuric acid. And actually, that may be something that I go ahead and work on. Yeah, I think so. So we're going to need to make some adjustments here because I was noticing that there's a problem. So let's hop on a train and let's head on over to mining complex? Yeah, I think so. So, what I was noticing here is that for things like the gold output, right, is we are not getting stereotype through as quickly as we should. I mean, we have purified water in the system, so there's water here. The problem is that the sulfuric wastewater is backed up. And there isn't enough room in the pipe. So, I could clarify it, but the problem is that not enough sulfuric wastewater is making it through the pipe to keep these tanks fed, to keep the sulfur system fed, so that we get sulfuric acid as quickly as we should. I think that just has to do with the capacity of the pipes themselves. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another loading area here to load up trains. I just have to find where... No, that's not the blueprint book I need. This guy is in the way. Can I move it? I'm fairly certain I can. That'll do. Oh, trees in the way. There we go. Alright, that needs to be placed there. Okay. And what would I call this? Ore purification? I mean, it is part of the mining complex, but that's not actually where this is coming from. Sulfuric waste loading. Okay. And then we're going to use these guys. And actually, I'm going to use a pump input as well. All right, so where are we seeing the problem? We're seeing the problem here, right? So if I could connect kind of directly in here. Alright, that should help things flow a little better. Yes, it is. Good. Now, this is also one thing where we're going to need to bring in purified water. So, while I'm over here, I might as well set that up. Purified water. Unloading. Same thing. And we're going to use 3 pumps. 1, 2, 3. Unloading, and then push the water out. And is this where we would want to push that into the system? Yeah, we have no sulfuric acid. Because it's not producing quickly enough. Purified water. Yeah, this is probably where we also want to push purified water into the system. So, we'll go ahead and connect this up as well. Just need to find the purified water line, which is right about there. Alright, train tracks are arriving. So we're going to need these, and we're going to need those. I need a little bit more Invar. That's fine. Just wait for delivery on that. Alright, the second wagon should be coming around in a second. There it is. Alright, refuel. And then grab the sulfuric acid. And then send it... Oh, excuse me. Send it to wastewater drop-off. Inventory empty. Inventory empty. There we go. Do it. Now, this one, I'm going to just grab some trees for some raw wood. Which should suffice for the initial fuel. Looks like I managed to pick up some more logistic spots. There we go. And your orders are going to be refuel. And then go grab purified water until your inventory is full. And then bring it to here until your inventory is empty. And I still don't have my Invar. 105 is on the way. I could go drive over there and grab it myself. But the bots could be like right here almost. Well, there's some bots, but they don't have any Invar. No Invar. There's some Invar. Okay, good. Almost here. Alright, looks like that train finished refueling. And so then it should pull into here and deliver some wastewater. Yep, and there we go. I might need to alter that a little bit as well. Still not enough Invar. There's iron plate. Those are bearings. That's some steel. That's some titanium. That looks like it might be some Invar. Indeed it is, and it is enough. There we go. Alright, now you can go ahead and get to your business. Even though you really aren't going to be moving anything just yet. See, there's all the Invar. Alright, I do want to make a slight adjustment. To the sulfuric waste system over here. And this is going to be a longer walk than I wanted to do. Alright, because right now we are branching this off of a single pump. And here's a problem. Is that I don't have a spot where I can do a second pump. I could do that there, but then it would be slightly restricted. Just ever so slightly. But that may provide more consistent supply to this end of things. I wonder if I shouldn't break these up somewhere. Yeah, these still aren't running at a good capacity. What happens if I do this? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Somehow these guys are still getting more wastewater than this guy off of that line. Not exactly sure why that's not working as well as it should. I mean, it's not like it's working badly, it just isn't working quite as quickly as it otherwise could. I don't know, I'll have to take a look at it and reanalyze a little bit. But I think that'll take care of things there for now. I'll have to take a closer look and see what might be causing any further issues. And so, we're going to be moving on to nickel ore. And start making nickel ingots and a small amount of nickel plate. Let's pin that, and I think that is what we're going to get on to for next episode, because it looks like we're just about the end of this one. So yeah, we'll stop here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.